This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Approaching 40 years of age is as traumatic an event as one can experience. And while I accept that aging is unavoidable, I'm still very much against it. When reaching a milestone, the artist embarks on a period of reflection, a time to summarize and evaluate the sum of their achievements. Last week, I turned 39 and spent the day measuring my music in terms of commercial triumphs and recognition. The results were disappointing. Although success in the arts is more personal than quantifiable, a total of 112 plays on MySpace would suggest a poor return on a life's worth of endeavour. Either the world has yet to catch on to my genius, or I'm not the talented soul I had led myself to believe. Success has so far eluded me, and success is all that I've ever wanted. But from this point on, I refuse to be a victim any longer. My name is Shane Vincent McDermott, and the following story is my attempt to have a top 40 hit single somewhere in the world, anywhere in the world, before I turn 40 years of age. Anyway, anyhow. Even if that means paying other people to do it for me.
Top 40 or Die Trying. Episode 1. Kanye on a Fiverr.
Day one of my journey. I had to decide which genre of music to conquer. Although my love for early 90s grunge was as strong as it had ever been, I'd come to realize that its commercial appeal was limited in the mid-2020s. A change of tact was needed. According to the internet, hip-hop generated $2.7 billion last year in the US alone. That's a 28.4% share of all the music in the world. Huge numbers, dear listener. And what a naysayer might describe as an oversaturated market, I saw as a goldmine from which I could glean a slice for myself. Plus, have you seen the state of some of these guys? Some of them look wildly unprofessional. Kanye West, for example.
I'm standing up and I'm telling you I am Warhol.
He's even older and fatter than me and still having hits.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Even his penchant for anti-Semitism hasn't derailed his career. But hip-hop was something alien to me. Its impact in rural Ireland during my formative years was not as big as you'd probably imagine. And despite being a competent finger-picking guitarist and a grade 5 pianist, I felt ill-equipped to start my takeover. However, a deficiency in expertise wouldn't be the hill that beat me. I would utilise my €100 inheritance from my late Aunt Roisin and pay some talented up-and-comers to create my first single. In fact, Kanye himself had already used my technique, often commissioning other artists to produce the work on his behalf. Unfortunately, my financial resources were slightly more modest than his.
I moved $140 million into JP Morgan.
Considerably more modest. Luckily, help came in the form of a website by the name of Fiverr.
The obvious choice is going to Fiverr.
Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
Thanks to Fiverr.com freelance.
Fiverr is a global online marketplace for freelancers to offer their services. Anyone from copywriters to graphic designers can advertise.
Fiverr, freelance services on demand.
The site also happens to have a number of musicians willing to create art in exchange for monetary reimbursement. An Amazon of creatives, if you will. I would search through profiles and carefully select those talented young individuals who would make me famous. Firstly, I needed a backing track, and there was no shortage of suitors on Fiverr. Amongst the crowd, there was one young man who caught my eye, a 20-year-old from India who went by the name of Ghosty.
I make hip-hop, rap, trap, R&B beats and instrumentals. If you want tracks sounding like Juice WRLD, Drake, Travis Scott, Post Malone, Future, Metro Boomin, or anyone else.
I had no idea who these people were, but I very much liked the cut of Ghosty's jib and his clear and affordable pricing structure. For €30, he would produce me 240 seconds worth of instrumental gold. Dear Ghosty, I have recently dipped my toe into the world of hip-hop and/or rap music, and am looking for like-minded, talented individuals who can help me to produce solid gold hits. I liked your page on Fiverr. You seem professional, reliable, and above all, reasonably priced. I am excited to take you up on your offer of 240 seconds of hip-hop beat for €30. I hope this is sufficient time to fully express yourself. In terms of my influences, I level with you, Ghosty. I've been out at the hip-hop game for quite a while. I'd list my 3 favourite rap singers as Will Smith, Notorious B.I.G., and the guy who did Maniac 2000. It would appear that your ear is somewhat closer to the ground, and thus I am happy to give you full creative freedom. Go forth and make us the greatest, most relevant, and of course, reasonably priced beat that you can. I'm already quivering with excitement. I look forward to hearing your work. Shane Vincent McDermott. 3 days later, I received my beat from Ghosty. Ghosty had surpassed himself. An instrumental track of the highest quality, brimming with colour and vigour. The kind of track you might hear blasting from a car of a real tough guy, completely disregarding those in his immediate environment. I had begun. The wheels were in motion and the destination was Hitsville. The next stage of my plan was to recruit the vocal artist who I would trust to adorn the beautiful canvas that Ghosty had created. Across Fiverr, the choice of rappers was endless. Mostly young men from the United States, all with examples of their recent work and glowing endorsements from previous clients. It was hard to differentiate. They all seemed so talented. But amongst the confusion, one man caught my eye. Donning a ski mask, a silver chain, and what looked like a diamond-encrusted glove on only one hand, a young artist by the name of Fabian was offering 8 bars of written and recorded rapping for €35. His advertisement was short and to the point.
I write Chinese rap lyrics according to your requirements and give them to you as quickly as possible, crushing 90% rapper who speak Chinese.
That's right. He was a Chinese rap artist. Now, this got my curiosity tingling. According to the internet, the population of China is currently around 1.4 billion. Nearly 1 in 5 people across the world are Chinese. That's a huge potential market, dear listener. With Fabian's help, I could infiltrate one of the fastest growing economies and reap the benefits. My fingers couldn't type fast enough. Dear Fabian, in a sea of rappers vying for attention, your profile stood out on account of its straight-to-the-point nature and lack of unnecessary bravado. With regards to your crushing of 90% of the Chinese rappers, I admire your confidence and hope that one day you will also surpass that remaining 10%. I like your style, Fabian, and I would like to take you up on your offer of 8 bars of Chinese rap for €35.88. I would like to have gone for 16 bars, but I'm feeling the pinch after a difficult fiscal year. Nonetheless, Fabian, please find the beat attached. I hope it inspires you. In an ideal world, your lyrics would reflect your love for China and what makes it the greatest country in the world. Failing that, feel free to rap about your mistrust of the West and everything about it that disgusts you. I look forward to hearing your work. Shane Vincent McDermott.
Yay! 我们正在开创5G的新时代，新的工业革命我们不会失败，团结一心横扫前方障碍，赶不上我们的步伐就会被淘汰。这是中国红色的土地，民族团结一起倡导社会主义。这是中国红色的土地，向往和平绝不会滥用武力。
Despite not understanding a word, I was delighted. He was even kind enough to send a written copy of his lyrics. Using online translation software, I was able to read it in English.
We are creating a new era of 5G. We will not fail in the new industrial revolution. Unite as one to overcome the obstacles ahead. If you can't keep up with our pace, you will be eliminated. This is the Red Land of China. The nation unites and sings socialism together. This is the Red Land of China. Yearning for peace will never abuse force.
Needless to say, I was awestruck with his work. His line about eliminating people was slightly troubling, but I wasn't here to censor his expression. Fabian had given life to my track. Some serious rapping that would soon be flooding the streets of Shanghai and Beijing. With such a pro-Chinese stance, my track could be used at public functions, unveilings, or maybe even a strategic military show of force. 1 week in, and things were really taking shape. During my time researching rappers across Fiverr, something struck me. Many artists appeared to be creating a persona of sorts and projecting an image of extreme confidence and bravado. Part of this image may include a fictional name such as Young Thug, Tekashi 69, or even something not altogether flattering like Fat Joe. I was worried that with a name like Shane Vincent McDermott, I might not be taken seriously in the hip-hop community. Luckily, help was at hand.
Hi, I'm Giuseppe, and I have been listening rap for the past 10 years. I have seen all the strangest names in the industry and also the most iconic ones. I perfectly know the street culture and I will create you a goated artist name.
Now, I had no idea what goated meant, but I immediately took Giuseppe up on his offer for 7 rap names at the price of €12. A mere 1 hour and 40 minutes later, I received his suggestions. I considered each one carefully.
Dear Shane, here are the names. Number 1, Acting Dolls.
No.
Number 2, Maroney.
No.
3, Tony Promethazine.
I can't justify a name I can't pronounce.
4, Juice Bandicoot.
No. This reminds me of Crash Bandicoot, the computer game. And that triggers a repressed memory from my childhood involving the PlayStation 1, Lara Croft, and my mum walking in on me, but I'll spare you the details.
5, Thugman Dark.
Too thuggish.
6, Happy Grave.
Too morbid.
7, Kid Cali.
Too twee. Having delivered the agreed 7 names, I was worried Giuseppe might have missed the mark. But it soon became apparent that he was in the middle of a creative streak, as moments later he sent me another email with 4 bonus names.
Pedro Montana.
No.
Ounce Killer.
God, no.
Almighty Eduardo.
Slightly OTT.
Gas for Cash.
Gas for cash. Maybe this could work. That's right. Gas for cash. The 4 being represented as a number. A clever bit of wordplay on Giuseppe's part. Maybe I could stylize the S in cash as a $sign, giving the impression of wealth and success. I'll be honest, dear listener. This name is essentially meaningless, but it was mine. I did momentarily reconsider Thug Mandark. But calling yourself a thug when you suffer from acute social anxiety seems like somewhat of a reach. Armed with my alias, I was ready to head forth. Under the guise of gas for cash, I would command respect and attention. I now began the arduous administrative task of updating my personal details across all my records.
Good morning, customer service speaking. How may I help?
Hi, how are you? I was just wondering about how I would go through the process of getting my name changed officially on the account.
Do you mind me asking if it's a depot or is it just a marriage certificate?
Well, the story is that I'm starting a rap career, and so I wanted to change my name to Gas for Cash because I found this Italian guy on the internet, and if you give him about a tenner, he comes up with cool names for you. But the problem I'm wondering is that it's Gas for Cash, but the 4 is a number. You know, it's like a bit of wordplay.
Okay.
So I wonder, would that be a problem because the bank and numbers and stuff?
Exactly. So once you have just all the documents of your new name, you just bring all the documents in. It's just proof of identification.
Just the email from Giuseppe, like?
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sure. Now, once again, I wouldn't be too sure if the email would even work. I'd definitely even pop in, show them the email and see if that would be enough. And then if they'll need anything else, they'll just go ahead and they'll let you know what else they need. But that'd be okay. If that's all you have at the moment, I'd advise you to bring that in with yourself and then they can go ahead and have a look.
Yeah, because I'm wondering then if like Gas 4 should be like the first name and then Cash would go down as the surname, or...
See, now I wouldn't be too sure once again, but if you bring that email in and anything else you have, they will be able to help you in there.
Okay, thanks so much.
No, you're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.
You too. Gas for Cash out.
Thank you.
That sorted, I got straight back to work. I had the alias, the business plan, and around €25 of inheritance left. But my tracks still needed work. Currently, I had around 30 seconds of a full rap track, and this would not be enough to gain significant radio play. I needed to beef up my song with additional lyrics. Unfortunately, Fabian seemed to be the only legitimate Chinese rapper on the site, and thus, I might have to resort to English language rap. But being the forward thinker that I am, I saw the opportunity in this crisis. What with heightened international tensions, by employing American artists to contribute to a rap song that praises the many virtues of China, I could build cross-cultural relations. Maybe I could release the track in time for Chinese New Year. My success was building itself. I set to work finding the perfect fit. Somebody who embodied the American dream whilst remaining palatable enough for a Chinese audience. I implemented a strict vetting process. Those who indulged in too much profanity and insubordinate behaviour would not be considered. I was close to losing all hope when I came across the profile of rapper John.
Songwriter, producer, MC, audio engineer, and copywriter. My speciality is writing and recording vocals, particularly raps. I can write in any style about anything.
Rapper John was a sturdy-looking man in his mid-30s. I knew he was legit as he was wearing his baseball cap backwards. Dear Rapper John, your way with words and attention to detail have convinced me to seek your help. You seem forward-thinking, relevant, and your references are enviable. I'm currently involved in an intercultural project aiming to build bridges between China and the USA. Politicians have failed us thus far, and yet nobody is looking towards the artists. What I need from you is 8 bars of rap that make claim to China being the greatest country in the world. Please make it clear that Hong Kong and Taiwan definitely belong to China, and that Chinese food is nutritious and makes you strong and intelligent. Also, wish the listeners a happy Chinese New Year, and note that 2025 will be the year of the tiger. A tough task, I know, but I will leave this in your capable hands, John. I look forward to hearing your work. DJ Gas for Cash. €22 for 8 bars of recorded material from such an established artist almost sounded too good to be true. In fact, it turned out that it was.
Hi Gas for Cash. Thank you for your order. I noticed you are requesting the project files for this order. Please note that this is considered to be a gig extra and it will be an additional €10 to send to you. Let me know if this works.
In short, rapper John was stating that if I wanted to receive the MP3 of his vocals, I would have to pay an additional €10. This seemed a little steep for what essentially amounted to the sending of an email with an attachment. It appeared that he was trying to hustle me. He had seen me for what I was, a bookish charlatan in the cutthroat world of manly hip-hop. We were now involved in a game of bluff. He was testing me to see how desperate I was for his artistry. But would I buckle under the pressure? Would I succumb to his demands? Yes. Yes, I would. In fact, I probably would have paid an extra €30 for his services, so in some ways, the joke was on him. I waited for around 40 minutes so as not to come across as too much of a keen bean before giving John the green light and the €10. He sent me his work the following morning.
Hold up. Haha, yeah. Have I ever told you China is the greatest country in the world? It's is gonna be the year of the tiger, thought I told you. China is the greatest country in the world. Happy Chinese New Year. Hold up, the food is delicious, also nutritious. People are the friendliest, from mainland to Hong Kong to Taiwan, we in this. Greatest country in the world. Happy Chinese New Year from us to you.
I was disappointed. Despite rapper John's solid list of references, his creativity, attention to detail, and passion towards my project seemed limited at best. Whilst I was impressed that he hadn't ignored the political hot potato of Taiwanese and Hong Kong independence, his lyrics and rhyme schemes seemed fairly repetitive.
Have I ever told you that China is the greatest country in the world?
No, you haven't, John, but please, go ahead.
Thought I told you, China is the greatest country in the world.
Yes, John, you did tell me. About 7 seconds previously. I was equally devastated, humiliated, and €32 poorer. I'd been creatively pickpocketed by a fully grown man who still wore cargo shorts. I was down, dear listener. My song was limp and, more worryingly, I had thus far spent €111.25. Money I could scarcely afford to waste. There would be difficulties trying to explain to my bank why I needed to extend my overdraft. The setbacks were coming thick and fast, and I was close to giving up hope. But just as my old friend's humiliation and defeat were staring me in the face, something fell from heaven and into my lap. Because what's better than inheritance from a distant aunt? That's right, 2 distant aunts with a suicide pact. I were to receive a second cheque, this time from the estate of Auntie Maeve. Another €100. Project Gas for Cash was back up and running. I took a moment to assess my work so far. My track had taken me from India to China via the USA, 3 of the world's biggest superpowers. The people involved all came from vastly different backgrounds, but there was one thing that they had in common. They were all men. Was this testosterone-fueled phallic rocket of a song alienating a very significant demographic? According to the internet, women make up 49.58% of the world's population. Nearly 4 billion people. That's a huge market, and I would be insane to ignore this. I set about finding the perfect female rap artist. Someone with the lyrical dexterity of Fabian and less of a greedy dipshit like John. After 15 minutes of hard scrolling, I came across a profile for Millie Lamp.
Are you looking for a female rapper to feature in your song? I am a creative person looking to have fun and help others with bringing their imaginations to life. I can be woke, nasty, or clever. I apologize to all. I just got out of the hospital.
An artist so humble that she found it appropriate to apologize for being hospitalized. I was enamored. I was also intrigued by her claim that she could be nasty. Was this something that my track was lacking? Was I neglecting the nasty market? After all, a bit of controversy never goes amiss. Just ask Kanye. Dear Millie, I was over the moon to find your service on Fiverr. I won't bore you with the details, Millie, but in short, I need some female expression on a track that will bridge cultural ties between the US and China. You state that you can do nasty lyrics. Maybe a little nastiness is what this track needs. I'm happy to give you full creative control. Be as nasty and or filthy as you like. But please, err on the side of caution. Shocking enough to raise an eyebrow, tame enough to gain significant Chinese radio airplay. Fill your nasty boots, Millie. But there is one condition. The last line of your 8 bars must be Happy Chinese New Year. I look forward to hearing your work. Shane Vincent McDermott.
It's 3 o'clock and I'm feeling my drinks. And for the hated ass bitches, no one care what you think. I like them tall, dark, and handsome men, covered in ink and hung like a steel chain with a whole bunch of links. Booty fat, I'm catching niggas slipping just like deers. These bitches mad cause the pussy running shit like gears. I talk business, words expensive, can't afford to hear. That's right, I'm still that bitch. Happy Chinese New Year's.
My faith in the hip-hop community had been restored. Millie had fully delivered on her promise. And while some of her language bordered on being a little blue, I could easily cover this with some carefully placed. Everything was back on track. Friends even noticed an extra bounce in my step. My skin cleared up, and I reconnected with my loved ones. Yes, my track was starting to take shape, but there was one vital component missing. I needed a hook, something for the masses to get behind. Rapping is all well and good, but it can certainly be very wordy. If my track were to be played at a Chinese New Year party, there would need to be a sing-along element like that of a Will Smith song. You know what I'm talking about, dear listener.
Party in the city where the heat is on. All night, on the beach till the break of dawn. Welcome to Miami. Bienvenidos a Miami.
Here come the men in black. Galaxy Defenders. Here come the men in black. They won't let you remember.
Lyrics and melody so catchy that they're forever seared into your mind. This was my aim. I needed someone with a proven track record in writing catchy melodies for international hit records, ideally for under €15. As if by magic, my first search across Fiverr brought me to a young man called Alium.
I am a vocalist in a couple bands and play drums in another. I own a studio and do audio engineering part-time and would love to start doing it full-time.
A multi-instrumentalist with dreams of making it big, with waist-length blonde dreadlocks, mean-looking tattoos, and a beard that a mere mortal could only dream of. Alium looked like a Nordic god that you might find working the door at a city centre bar. The kind of man that you'd love to have as a friend, yet you'd always be slightly scared of. Definitely not a hugger.
I am ready to take your song to the next level and fill it out with the vocal tracks and lyrics it needs. I have experience in singing and screaming.
The idea of adding some controlled screaming to my track tickled my interest. Infusing the passion of death metal with rap music might be the answer to the question that nobody had previously asked. I took Alium up on his offer to write a chorus to my song for the attractive price of €10. Dear Alium, what a treat it was to come across your profile. Your appearance could be described as strong and/or striking, and your voice, as if summoned by Thor himself, complements said image perfectly. I hope my compliments have piqued your interest and not irritated you, for I have a request to make. I am currently in the process of thawing the Cold War and strengthening cultural ties between the USA and China via the medium of song, and I am in need of a little extra sauce. I am intrigued as to what your screaming can bring to my project. I'm giving you complete creative control, Alium. I just hope you can produce me a hook worthy of my trust. I'm looking forward to hearing your work, big man. Shane Vincent McDermott. I pressed send and then worried for the next 12 hours if calling him big man had been a mistake. 2 days later, I had my track.
China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties. Yeah, China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties.
Alium had reached deep within his soul to provide me with the perfect chorus. A melody so infectious, it could cause another lockdown. I found myself humming the tune whilst on the bus before breaking into full song. China, USA, strengthening cultural ties. Yes, I was drawing looks from disgruntled elders and terrified school children, but nothing could bring me down today. Happy Chinese New Year, motherfuckers. I was on fire. Every calculated decision I was making was reaping great benefits. I was waking in the middle of the night with more genius thoughts. What about 2 singers on the chorus? How about another woman? I almost couldn't keep up with my own pace. This must be how Kanye feels.
Hi, my name is Mariella. I'm an opera singer from Argentina with over 20 years of experience.
China, USA, strengthening the cultural ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the cultural ties. Yeah, China, USA, strengthening the cultural ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the cultural ties.
That only cost me €5. I had around 2.5 minutes of solid gold material with a potential market of around 6 billion people. A track that encompasses rap, death metal, opera, and women. But there was one small, essential element missing from my rap song. The hype man. For those not familiar with this, it's the artist employed to add the yas and come-ons to the track. My prime influence would be Flavor Flav from Public Enemy. You know the one. The guy with the top hat and the clock around his neck.
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, that's him. Someone to act as a master of ceremonies, ad-lib across my track and to further excite my audience. Once again, Fiverr didn't let me down.
My name is Livia Gonzalez, and I am a female artist based in Spain. In this gig, I will provide you with original and professionally recorded ad-libs in English or Spanish.
Livia's profile also mentioned that she had auto-tune capabilities. For those not familiar, auto-tune is an effect preferred by many hip-hop artists to manipulate their voice to create a robotic-like sound. A bit like Cher did one time in that song. You know the one. That's the one. Even Kanye has used it. A lot.
How could you be so heartless?
With this studio trickery, I would have the final piece to my masterpiece. Dearest Livia, I would like to start this email by congratulating you. I am congratulating you because you are about to be a part of a huge international project. In fact, you will be adding the final touches to a piece of art that started in India and has traveled the world via China, the USA, Argentina, and now Spain. Your profile has the sass and brassiness that I've been looking for, and I've chosen you to complete a project that has thus far cost me exactly €168.59. I realise that I have bestowed great responsibility upon you, but with 13 5-star reviews, I am in no doubt that you are the one to cut the ribbon on the good ship Gas for Cash. Picture the scene. It is edging closer to midnight. The People's Republic of China is close to ringing in a new year. International relations with the USA are at an all-time high. All trade tariffs have been forgotten, and everyone is drunk on optimism. Please, tell the listeners how excited they should be and ad-lib with the auto-tune turned up to 11. I look forward to hearing your work. Shane Vincent McDermott. 2 days later, Livia's delivery arrived. My track was complete. My first attempt at disrupting the international music charts. And now, without further ado, I would like to share that song with you. Entitled Happy Chinese New Year, open brackets, strengthening cultural ties, close brackets, and credited to Gas for Cash. It cost me €191.71 to make, and you can download it at top40 or dietrying.bandcamp.com. I would like to thank you for your attention. I just hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoyed paying other people to make it.
DJ Gas for Cash. Yeah. China, USA.
Yeah. 我们正在开创5G的新时代，新的工业革命我们不会失败，团结一心横扫前方障碍，赶不上我们的步伐就会被淘汰。这是中国红色的土地，民族团结一起倡导社会主义。这是中国红色的土地，向往和平绝不会滥用武力。
China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties. Yeah, China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties.
Have I ever told you China is the greatest country in the world? It's gonna be the year of the tiger, thought I told you. China is the greatest country in the world. Happy Chinese New Year. Hold up, the food is delicious, also nutritious. People are the friendliest, from mainland to Hong Kong to Taiwan, we in this. Greatest country in the world. Happy Chinese New Year from us to you.
China, USA,
stranded in the culture ties. Chinese New Year, stranded in the culture ties. Yeah, China, USA, stranded in the culture ties. Chinese New Year, stranded in the culture ties.
It's 3 o'clock and I'm feeling my drinks. And for the hated ass bitches, no one care what you think. I like them tall, dark, and handsome men, covered in ink and hung like a steel chain with a whole bunch of links. Booty fat, I'm catching niggas slipping just like deers. These mad cause the running like gears. I talk business, work expensive, can't afford to hear. That's right, I'm still at happy Chinese New Year's.
China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties. Yeah, China, USA, strengthening the culture ties. Chinese New Year, strengthening the culture ties. China, USA, 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 China, USA.
Happy New Year.
If you're enjoying the show, the full season of Top 40 or Die Trying is out now exclusively on Headstuff Plus. Join now for just €5 plus VAT per month. You'll also unlock ad-free listening and exclusive behind-the-scenes bonus content. Find full details in the show notes.
This show is part of the Headstuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Headstuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.